Good morning. So, we have one more bit of user interface I'm wanting to lay out before moving on to world generation for our little Minecraft rewrite. And it's these two meters at the bottom. You have the health meter made up of these little hearts, and you have the lightning bolts for the stamina meter. This screenshot is from someone else's port of the game. They ported it to Android. Hopefully, after this one, we'll be able to start it on the world generator. So, let's dig in. Here's where we're at now. Last time we spoke, we finished making these buttons fully active so we can hit the up and down. It modifies this counter value. The counter value is saved to the local storage. So when we close the app and reopen it, the value is still available. Really neat thing about local storage. So today we're going to create a little progress meter, a couple of progress meters that are going to sit in the bottom of the screen, and then tie it into the up and down buttons so that we can see the progress meters going up and down. So let's do that. We are going to need a new class for our progress meter. After today, I'm probably going to take all these UI elements and shove them into another library folder under the system directory. I'm trying to save that kind of minor refactoring for offline. Alright, so we have a class. What do we put in it? We need a constructor to build the class. We need to know every progress meter has a max value. It has a current value. Let's say it's the same as the max value. And I'll have X and Y position for where it's going to sit on the screen. The width and height are going to be determined by the tile set, the size of the tiles in the tile set combined with the maximum value of the progress bar. And we need to know the tile index, the on color, and the off color for when a particular tile is active or not. I'm going to go ahead and hard code this to the little health meter so that we can get something up on the screen. And you can see right there, there's the little heart and lightning bolt. Get it back here. Right there. I think what I'm going to do though is dig into some of the Java code for how we're going to implement this. In the Java code, in game.java, there's a render GUI function. Get that out of the way. Okay. So, it looks like this is rendering there's a black section for the heads-up display. This right here is 2 tiles high and goes all the way across the screen here at the bottom. And it's rendering it all black, so I think that's what that is. And I go 0 to 10. Health and stamina both have a max value of 10 in this game. And you can see here it's checking the player health, and here's checking the player stamina. So this should be rendering the health bar, and that should be rendering the stamina bar. And it looks like there's a thing for rendering the player's active item and any menus that might be open. We're not going to tackle those until we get further along in the gameplay. Let's start with the health bar. We'll need to figure out what's going on with the stamina recharge display. But it looks like the main thing is that while the stamina is recharging, the color is brighter. Which is kind of interesting. I might duplicate that functionality for the health bar, but right now we're just going to get the progress meter going. Copy and paste. Copy and paste and make it work. Update and a render. Implement render. I'm not sure we'll need any other functions here. Instead of going up to 10, we're going up to the max value. I don't like hard coding numbers unless I absolutely have to. If n is less than would be passing a tile set. And that be private. Render a tile. And the tile index is that number right there, I believe. X is the same as n times 8. We're using n instead of I because I just feel like it. Screen.h down here is the same as our get height function. The rest of that is just like copy and paste. Color.get same as palette.get for 0, 200, 500, 533. And bits is optional. We're going to leave that set to the default value. And then down here, the main thing is changing the color. 100 and then 0, 0. Okay, let's get that wired up. We're going to be creating our UI. The new health meter to our UI elements array. And let's see what that does. Well, okay, we missed something. What did I miss? Must call superconstructor, of course. If you inherit from another class, extend, in this case, extending UI element, you have to call the constructor on that UI element. Height is the same as the tile set. Hold on. tile set tile height is the height of the element. The width is equal to the tile width times the max value. That's as wide as it can get. Alright, try again. Cannot read properties undefined reading tile width. So that's undefined. Well, why is that undefined? Oh, because I changed that function signature, but I did not change where I'm constructing it. So let's fix that. Progress meter, we have x is 0, y is height minus 16, max value is 10, and then we have our tile set. Let's go ahead and use that here. Retest. Get height is not defined. Really? Oh, system not displayed I get height, excuse me. Reload. It's running, but where's our progress meter? Expected something to show up down there. So why didn't it show up? Test some of these values to see what we're working with. The problem is those last two, the x and y, are undefined. Because it's not, I shouldn't be using this dot x and this dot y. The way they're assigned an UI element is through the bounds property. This dot bounds dot x and this dot bounds dot y. There it is. There's our little string of hearts. And let's go ahead and tie that into our buttons. How are we going to do that? We'll do that. And whenever we subtract from the counter, we'll also subtract from the health meter. And we'll do the same for the up button. Oh, that's exciting. That makes me happy. All right, let's set up the stamina meter now. All right, where is it? This is going to need to be organized soon. It's getting harder to find things. pixels down, so it's going to be just underneath the health meter. Now the first problem we're going to have is the fact that they're both hearts. One of those needs to be lightning bolts. So we need to be passing in the tile index to our constructor. Where did I put it? Right there. Tile index, tile set. I think the lightning bolt was just one over from the heart, so let's add one. And then we'll get to see the next problem. They're lightning bolts, but they're the wrong color. They're colored with the heart palette. And for some reason the up and down buttons no longer work. Oh. The counter is just too high. Hold on. There we go. Let's go ahead and tie that in. So we can test the stamina meter as well. Assignment to constant variable. Oh. I need to add to the current value, not to the stamina meter itself. There we go. Now we need to pass in the on color and the off color. Which are these two. Alright, we can now pass the colors in, but what color do we want for our stamina bar? I'm going to pick on those two. Paste those in there, and then we just need the 110 from that list and stick that there. So the 3 digits, red is 1, green is 1, blue is 0. If red and green are both on, that makes a yellowish color. There it is. 1 stamina bar. Ooh, cannot read properties fun to find. I think the value might have gone too low. That's a funny place for it to crash. You know, I think we're just going to do some error checking on those values. I'm not really sure what error to check for here. It's having trouble getting the color out of the array. And we're in the tile renderer right now. Let's see if we can do that again. And there it goes. It crashed again. Let's look at the code and see if anything jumps out. No, nothing's jumping out. Oh, the off color. We're assigning it to itself. We need to be grabbing from the incoming parameter value. Like that. That should make a big difference. So, force reload. That's better. Yay, that makes me happy. I want to do one more thing. Right now, the value of the progress bar is being stored inside of the progress meter. We need to be able to bind it to player stats. So if we need to do a data binding thing like what we're doing with the labels, passing in a function, what we're going to do for that I hate having such a long parameter string there. Got X, Y, tile index, tile set, color. I'm just going to stick it at the, well, I'm going to have to do some thinking on how to do the data binding because, no? Wait, hold on. This only needs to read. So we really can do it like this. Stick in an anonymous function that will just read the counter value. Got that default undefined. And then if current value is defined, is that the right syntax? Hold on. Okay, if current value is undefined, then, or if it is defined, then we'll save it. Otherwise, okay. If current value is undefined, then we're going to just assign current value to the max value. Initialize it to a number. Otherwise, what we're going to do is that current value is going to be assigned to the incoming parameter value, like that. And then when we're rendering, did I do that up here? Type of equals the string function. A current value is a function. Let's see. We're going to initialize a local value variable to whatever is in current value. But if current value is a function, then we're going to evaluate that function, and that will be our actual current value. Easy peasy. Also, this should be set to the tile width. That should now allow us to bind directly to our counter value. So we should not be doing this anymore. Incrementing the function will just lead to chaos and awfulness. So the buttons are now only incrementing and decrementing our counter value. And the progress meters get their value by executing a function that will pull the counter value, which actually needs to be calling the get counter value function. Like this. Passing in the function name by itself will basically give the progress meter a reference to that function that can then be later executed. Let's see if all that worked. If all this worked, we should still be able to use our buttons to modify our meter. Counter is -17, so these are blank. That makes sense. Let's get this to be something. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there you have it. We have 2 data-bound progress meters. That's really cool. And that is it for today. Next time we are going to begin digging into how we're going to get the level on the screen. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So, hope you can join me. See you later.